Hello, Catamount. My name is Alex Hoffman, and this is Chats with Cats presented by WeTV. In this series, I will be interviewing some of our amazing athletes here at WCU. Today's guest is Emma Soucy of our women's soccer team. How are you, Emma?
I'm great.
So we'll go ahead and jump right into this. Go ahead and please introduce yourself. Tell us what year you are and what you do on the team.
So my name is Emma Soucy, and I currently am a freshman here at Western, and I am a winger for the women's soccer team. So I play up top or in the midfield.
All right, perfect. So tell me a little bit about what brought you to play soccer at WCU.
Really what brought me here is I had a couple different options, and a few of them were more populated areas. I feel like that's definitely a drawing factor to colleges and decisions that people make. But what really drew me here was, the scenery at the school is immaculate. And I think one thing that a lot of people talk about is really the people that are here. When I came in, there's a few girls that I know from high school that were on the team at the time. And I asked them to bring me in and really just show me the ins and outs of Western and, soccer and just what it's all about. And it really drove me to be like, these are great people. These are really genuine girls that I would love to spend the rest of my college career with. So.
Perfect. So you mentioned the people, and so I kind of wanted to ask you about the family feel, because a lot of our athletes talk a lot about the family feel in the team. So I kind of wanted to hear your take on that with soccer.
With soccer, I have a few of my friends that also play Division I collegiate soccer, and they have voiced to me that it doesn't really always feel like home. I knew that when I came here, my first visit ever with these girls, it just felt like home, and it just was a different feeling than compared to all the other schools that I had visited, and all the other people that I talked to about soccer and their experiences with their team. And when I spoke to other people at other schools, they almost were apprehensive to talk about the culture of it. And here, the girls, that's all they talked about. And it was so refreshing, and it just felt right to be able to go somewhere where, I'm away from my family. As a freshman, it's hard to do that and be in a new environment on your own. And these girls, each and every one of them took me under their wing. And there is not a single girl on the soccer team that I can't call right now and say, like, hey, I need you for something. And I have no doubt that they'll be there for me. So that definitely is a family factor.
Yeah, I think that really built-in culture is a lot of what also led us to a lot of success this past season with our SoCon championship win. So tell me a little bit about the thrill of winning the SoCon championship this past season.
It was unlike any other. The environment was insane. We had the stands completely filled. There was a whole section of alumni that came, and it really just reiterated the fact to us that we're playing for more than just our team, but our whole alumni and KKSV is what we go after, and just having that environment is something that we're playing for. We're not playing for ourselves, we're playing for many people, and the environment of everybody there supporting us for such a big accomplishment that we had, and after fighting all season against injury and having to overcome that, a lot of teams would stop. We lost 3 of our starting back line, and we were able to still truck forward and get the win. Having those final minutes count down and just being able to storm the field and sit there and have all the success soak in, and everybody be chanting your name, and it was just such an exhilarating feeling to have, and really something special to be a part of.
Yeah, and something that we'll be able to look back on in history too.
Oh,
certainly.
Such
a huge season for Catamount soccer.
Definitely, and our coach, he always was telling us throughout the season, y'all are right there, this is the team to do it this year, and we're going to make history if we do it. And there wasn't a team, I think, prior to us in this program that had won both the SoCon tournament and then also the regular season. And so that was definitely a historical season for us, and we hope to repeat it.
Hope so. Hope that brings a lot of success into other athletics too, and more excitement. So what or who would you say motivates you to play soccer?
So soccer in general, when I started out, my family is definitely a soccer family. But I actually didn't love soccer. I played basketball, and it wasn't until a lot of my friends started playing that I kind of felt a little left out, and I was like, let me just try this. Like, let me see what it's all about. And that's who kind of kindled that fire for me. And as I continued to play, it was the people that I met and the coaches that I had that really pushed me to be like, this can be something great. Let's pursue it. And then another factor would probably be like my parents and just their overall support of everything I've done. And they've showed me, hard working success will take you to great lengths, and this is like obviously what has happened here. And so just having that constant motivation and, being a collegiate athlete, some days are going to be a lot harder than others, just because it's hard work. You got to put in what you get out. And really having that support is such a big motivating factor.
I think that's one thing that a lot of our athletes also talk about a lot, is having that support and how important that is. And so that's really good to hear. So many of our athletes do have a lot of support. And that comes not just from like outside, but again, from the inside family feel.
Right.
But I also wanted to ask, what kind of impact would you say your coach and coaching staff have on you?
So coming in as a newcomer, obviously there's a lot of different factors that you're almost just like shell-shocked by. It's hard to, come into that environment and going 0 to 60, especially with our season being in the fall. You come in, you've got, fitness test and practice 2 times a day, and then you start school and it's, in a new environment, a new place, there's a lot coming at you, and it's really difficult to handle all of that. And I think one thing that our coaches really did well was reiterating to the freshmen that it's going to be okay. One mistake isn't going to make or break you, and you move on from it. And it's like how you respond to those mistakes, especially in games. I know being a freshman going to my first game, I was like, oh my gosh. I was a deer in the headlights, and I didn't want to make a mistake. I didn't want to disappoint my team. I wanted to build that trust with them and like prove that I'm here for a reason. And I think our coaches did a really good job of every day after practice, we would have a meeting, with the whole team to just talk over like, hey, y'all are good. This is natural as a freshman coming in, but we also had, so much support for them. We had an individual meeting with our coaches, like just the freshmen, and they told us, how are y'all doing? They're constantly checking on us and making sure that we're doing well and our grades are good and, our mental state is good, especially being away from home. I know a lot of girls were homesick coming in, so they constantly were checking on us, constantly telling us that, it's okay to make a mistake, just respond to it with hard work and you'll be okay. So I think that was something that really, really helped me transition from high school to college.
That's great to hear. Yeah, it sounds like a lot of our coaches have been really instrumental in the success. And again, with the championship win, you've got to have good coaches behind you too.
Certainly.
So I did kind of want to change gears, because this is more than just an interview about you as a student athlete. It's also you as a student and a person beyond that. So what are you studying at WCU?
Currently, I am an IHS major, which is Integrated Health Sciences, and I'm on a pre-professional track.
Do you have any specific plans with your degree? I know you said you're a freshman, so you have a little bit to figure it out. But
knowing me, if you know me, I definitely plan ahead. So right now I'm looking into, after graduation, going to med school. So that is all in all what I want to do, and I want to become hopefully a sports med physician or work within the sports realm of being a doctor of some sort. And I want my residency to be in family medicine, so I can really like get that environment, especially being an athlete. I'm in those settings 24/7, and so I think it's something I've grown up with and I've grown to love. So definitely being a doctor and trying to get into med school after undergrad is definitely something that I see in the future.
Very planned out.
Yeah.
Like you said. So what is your best memory at WCU so far? It can be something soccer related, not, or both. Yeah.
So I would definitely say that my best athletic memory would be having such a historic season with my best friends and winning a ring. Being a freshman, that's awesome to have a ring your first year. So we hope to continue that throughout. But that was definitely my by far best memory that I've had thus far. As far as non-athletics go, I think really just as I said earlier, the people here, are amazing. We can do the most random thing, like just going on a little hike or, sitting and watching the sunset at Jackson County Airport. And it's always the best time. We have the best conversations, and it's just hanging out with my friends outside of athletics really just helps us unwind and just develop that bond with each other. That's something that is amazing. And yeah.
The three of you that I've interviewed from soccer, I forget as I'm asking about a favorite athletics, I'm just like, wait, there's an obvious answer to this, and I know it.
Definitely a ring. Definitely a ring.
But I have one last question. It's not necessarily athletics or academics, but who is your go-to artist to listen to before a game to get ready?
So as I'm walking in the field, obviously nerves are flying, and I just, try my best to get myself calmed down and just remember that it's just a game. And so I always listen to Lauren Daigle. She's a Christian artist, and just having that constant reminder through her lyrics that, you're going to be okay, especially because God's got you. Anything that you do, he will carry you through that hardship. And so it's really a good reminder to relax myself and just get in a positive mindset, knowing that I have God to back me up with everything that I do. So I think that's really why I listen to her, and she's my go-to, because just having that comfortability before going into a game in a stressful environment.
Gotta have that way to be comfortable in the game to
Certainly.
have such a good season.
Certainly.
But that is it for today's episode of Chats with Cats with Emma Soucy. Thank you, Emma, for being on the show today.
Of course.
And so we'll see you next time, and go Cats.
Go Cats.